It's literally a truck! Oh my gosh. You to free to 1763. It is solid bit. Curfew is 1941 PC. Indeed, well, if the Pickers watch me fire the part for the victory for Royal in April 1621. The orders conveyed show the Pickers the Washington turning England. These two Eagles have colony America. 85 colonies at first, a colony established the Great England environment. In Virginia is 1585. Oh no! There's a truck. Oh, what the? Truck? No! Or 50, 100. Go leave! Why is trying to leave? 60-20. Alright, 60-20. Or it's 600. 67 in Virginia, South Virginia. Still in West owned by Jamestown resident. In 1620, the Western African Kingdom of oh, Dalmor Albany, which part of the Atlantic slave trade, is founded. It also situated people find the Mayflower Compact, establishing a self-governing colony in Pine Mountain, Massachusetts. In 1644, the Massachusetts orphaned the Ming and founded the Qing Dynasty in China. The lion statue before the the plaza of the Ming and Qing Empire. 1776, National Bacon leads a rebellion against the governor of Virginia, demands war against the Native Americans. In 1688, the British Glorious Revolution begins and results. Come on. It greatly increased power. In 1692, the Salmon witch trials are held in Massachusetts. 1700. The Borders Company. 1722, Chinese Emperor KX dies after reigning for 61 years. 1735, John Peter Zener is tried for painting articles criticizing the English governor of New York. Block of movable time uses 700 America. In 1754, the French war between Great Britain and France is fought on American soil. Pine Tomahawk, a blend of Native American and European cultures. In 1763, after the French and Indian War ends, oh shoot, I made a mistake again. Hold on. In 1750 the Industrial Revolution begins in Great Britain. Spinning jenny, which helped industrialize Britain's textile production. And since before the French and Indian War between Great Britain and France was fought on American soil. Pipe tomahawk, a blend of Native American and European culture. In 1763, after the French and Indian War ends, the proclamation of 1763 is 1800. Historic collage. One two events near 7 years apart indicating the American and British concern with the power of government. Okay, fine. Capture free the 13 colonies from 1585 to 1732. Essential question. Essential question. How did early settlers cope with challenges as they established the first 13 colonies? American stories. The lost colony of Rogan. Such as what early colonies had been the same. Key vocabulary words. Charter of intern servants, joint stock company, and trader. Such as two New England colonies. The badges, the status of Federal Orders of Kentucky, King Philip War, Levy, Mayflower Compact, Sub-Governor, Separatists. Illustrations. Such as free Middle and Southern colonies. Key vocabulary. Alliances, Confederacy, Doctrine, Economy, Attack, Activity, Natural Resource, Literary Operators, Arbitrator, Royal Colony, and Tributary. The Bishop Gallery Online. Approach of the Pilgrims. Retry big influence. When you make influence, when you use what you already to figure out immediately intent. Use a chart like this one, major difference in the challenge this way. So, phase has a base. Phase established first, first column. I read, the settlers live under different conditions. Blame. I know. Mason died of disease. Blame. And so, blame. There's a picture. Yeah, there's. This is how it looks like. And now I'm going to the next page, which is another picture. Quote for today. As a city upon a hill, the eyes of all people are upon us. By John Winton Rock. And this is how it looks like. That's the building over there, and this is how it is. Founded, critical viewing. Founded 14, 1947. People like plantation and living museum and Plymouth Massachusetts provides an experience of what life with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans after the Pilgrims' arrival in 1620. For details in the follow, what materials can identify that was used to build houses and objects that were part of daily life. American story, that's what got it. Those are mod clear, a rock on. Alright. Very simply, it's two boats. So that's what I see. Which groups are sort of viewed? Which groups are represented in this historic map of Rokan Island? And how do you identify them? The lost colony of Rockador. Have you ever read All Stars Mysteries that really haunts you? I don't know whether it's all, but so something unexplained has happened, and you can click mind. The lost colony of Roku is also solved a mystery that's haunted America since late 1500s. When a group of 118 first English colony, the colonies is different from the shore of Northern Carolina, somewhere between 1587 and 1590. Try colonize. And this is his watercolor. I can actually see it. Wow, okay. Trying to colonize. In 1584, nearly 100 years after Christopher Columbus had landed in North America, nearly Queen Elizabeth of England retired of watching Spain, Spanish grow rich off the New World. Looking for the wealth and fame the colonists by Britain, and for the opportunity to expand English control. She granted Nobel Walter Reynolds permission to set a colony in North America. Raleigh sent more than 100 colonists to Rogan Island. Hard the island chain now known as the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The colony lasted less than a year. The colonists had no farming or fishing skill because the Native Americans killed them. That's why. The colonists had no farming or fishing skill. They had relied on trading with Native Americans. They developed cattle to feed themselves. Fortunately, this story the religion with the tribe relations with the tribe and treated them with suspicion in order to kill the local tree. But the explorer sure fast to drink. Roger his fleet. June 1586, the colonists were sorely in need of food, supplies, and desperately. They gladly accept drinks offered and to be by England. A watercolor by John White on the wrote the Rocky colony. Americans told up if you just know English. Come on, don't do this to me. What's going on? Come on, don't do this. I know something's wrong with the page. Yes, something's wrong with this page. So, does someone see this, bro? What do I really after? Bro, I don't know what it says. The problem, I actually don't. I actually do not know what it says. Well, I have to go somewhere back because this is dumb. Ugh. This doesn't make any sense. It should not be cut. Some guy did not just do this. Come on. Don't do this to me. Come on. Come on. Don't do this. Alright, something's wrong with this page. Something's wrong with this page. I don't know what could be wrong with this page. I just don't know what's wrong. Copy all this? The text isn't lasted there, right? Oh, let's see. Okay, look. I I I did recover it. Yeah, I don't know did not recover it. 'Cause I don't know what's going on. I got a better idea. Save image. I'll send it to you guys because I don't know what's going on. Come on, save. Save. Hold up. Science, the years of growing. They found it. Okay, so basically, because I don't know what this is. Alright. So you're not gonna see this text, but look, this is how it works. Because I really had no idea what's going on with the text. It's literally glitching. I don't know what's going on. It's something's going on with it. Do I restart it? Up before I'm gonna do a new one because this one doesn't make any sense. So wait, MTS. Oh come on! You're not gonna see this text when you gotta listen. Something's wrong with this text. Bro, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I didn't expect this to happen. This is even harder. Why is it hard for me? Why me? Whatever I do, it doesn't work. 4 room 100. Hey! No A? Come on, don't do this to me. Come on, I didn't waste my time here. I used sentient one time. How the heck did that work? Like, you just don't care. Just class. Judges. You Okay, you know what? It's better to just do a new one. Sorry, guys, I have to leave. Whoa! Why is this so hard? This is so difficult. Ah! Ow! I just cut my toes. In my arms. In my hair. I just cut everything in my body. What the? Oh, yeah. I still have more to crack, though. There's no one to crack again. Let me redo this again. I'm gonna have to go to 87. I'm gonna do a new version of this, okay? I'm gonna take the mistake. You know what? I don't know what was wrong with the mistake, but I don't think I'll be able to restore this. Or can I? I have one option left. And this doesn't work, then I don't know what will work. So trust me, hopefully this works. I'm gonna crack my legs, that's a problem. Has anyone really cracked your hair before? I mean, it's possible to crack your hair. Ow. You know what? Normally I'll do something, but at this moment, no. There's no evidence that they're golden trees. I don't know what this is. The image is a problem, cause it stopped. Dude, it's missing. I just have to do something. Page 88. U.S. history, American stories. Oh, come on! Oh, come on! It's the only way, bro. Come on. Oh, come on! Oh, come on! It's all going. It doesn't going to catch you free. Wish it did. I wish it did. Then I'll be able to do it quickly. Oh, but no, because it's glitchy. I don't have the text. That's a problem. Unit free. I don't care. What is this? Oh, catcher five. What? Bruh, I'm just gonna come. Yeah, I'm just gonna read it down the text. Alright. Oh! Oh, shoot. Alright, sorry. Since I don't actually have the text, I think I got an idea what I'm gonna do. Alright. Come on, why can we get there? The good growing induce the good growing conditions of wider reed forms. Alright, so the text I'm gonna read it after like this guy is right, okay? I just copy text because hold on. What is this? That shouldn't be possible. There's no way I'm able to do something that doesn't even exist. Oh, but no, I'm gonna have to remove everything. I'm not just gonna remove everything. Hold on. Cancel. Hold up. I can hold up. I can do. Oh my god, bro! Let me erase you. What? Yeah, I'm just gonna repair this. Bro, let me go. Okay, yeah, I done. I super done, bro. Let me, bro. Ho, please. What? 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 Trees who study? I don't care. I just don't. Scientists who study. Oh, we copy. Scientists. 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 Oh, come on. I did this. Note. No, we're noting. Note. Okay, yeah, so this was. Just stop. This is the text. Aha. Say it. What? Oh, come on, let me. Alright. Save it. What? Save. Save. You what? Let me think. Scientists who study tree rings have often have offered interesting clue about the fate of the lost colony. Trees grow a new outer layer of wood each year during the growing season. That's why you can tell the age of a tree by counting its rings. In years with good growing conditions, wide ring forms. Narrow rings indicate poor years for growth. Long-lived trees such as the boat-type tree and some North Korean rivers can help research determine what growing conditions were centuries ago. Study of the tree. Scientists have determined that Rokan Island experienced one of the worst droughts its centuries during the years 1587 to 1589. Period. What expectation for the colonies this period do you think this evidence supports? And I'm done. Okay. You change the text if you want to, but let me just do it so. And basically, there's supposed to be pictures here too, but I'll copy it, okay? I have to copy a video. Also happy. I'm trying to do something. Wow, okay. That's so fair. That is so fair. That's so unfair. You're unfair. Yeah, I see unfair. And I don't like this. Save. Why would it save? You save. Sorry. Save. Oh come on, save. Save Reddit. Copy image.com. Image.com. Image. Image converter. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you could copy it. Yeah, I got it though. That's the problem. See, I got anything. Yeah, anything. So I don't know what the heck you should have fit. Like what? It's like I did. This is wrong. Alright, so technically I don't know what to do. So I give up with this picture. But if anyone has the real picture, please give me. Please show me. No, please. No, please. Oh, put the image in message because I don't know what that says. I literally have to use. I have to use that part. Okay, fine. Fine, we're done. Lost Colony Drought, 1587 to 1589. We spent 10 minutes in that one section all because of that glitch. Wow, okay. Face to that glitch. Why did it have to be a glitch? Fine. Jamestown Drought. Come on. 16 or 16, 16 or 12. The harder loss. So Raffle decided to try again. This time with a different time of calling. Like the bit all bit group that be the first attempt. Colonies will be that makes me very romance torture. That was inspiring to new countries. Colony recovery. John White had been married in the early film edition and knowledge of the local geography and tribes. Along the settlers were white, British daughters, and the second Irish year. College reached over the island July 1987 called the first country experience. They were very the erosion. Very religious with the local tribe. The coast in August 1857. Virginia Dare was born the first English baby. The first English born baby born in North America. Started to realize they were more society to get for the coming winter. Falcon John White returned to England with ships that abolished colonies. Instead of asking Ralph for much needed goods, taking Ralph much needed goods because the English war Spain, I was able to turn Toronto for 3 years. John White did came short of the early Sally Rhode Island. Uncle 59, not a single hero, college or David American was president. White found the word Congress cards to the front post on the farmer settlement gates. Nearly a tree wrote letters. A nearby tree wrote the letters CRO. According to the journal, White concluded that standards were safe and Christians were safe, and Christians were the savages or the island or present boxes or friends, but she was never learn. She never learned when such a was correct. The nested strong short grew up. before washing away from the Arab base. Under an onslaught, the power, the small fleet had no choice to turn to England. The wise never succeeded in bouncing and then expedition to rolling finding the British colonies. Correction. Alright, let's picture. Critical view. This one car, wow, it's been famous. Man, half of my time has been on the one page. Look at the glitch. Whoa, look at the reading. Critical view. This woodcut shows John White is having a carnival progression. Looking fair from the men's expectations and body language. Colony found. Like John White 59 researchers today wonder about what happened to the men's colonies. Where colonies deal with the corruption just feedback away from White as he searched the ruins settlement. Did baby Virginia dare grow up in America? Many positive expectations exist. The colonies may have moved in to corruption and eventually become part of the time. Part of the tribe. It was also possible they were killed by a hostile native group or by soldiers by passing Spanish ship. In recent years, two groups of researchers have found new evidence that the colonists' possible fate. In 2012, one group took a closer look at the map of the recent drawn by. Underneath the paper patch of the map, on the map, they found a star-shaped symbol indicating a spot about 50 miles inland or reversing. Organizers digging at the spot which they did inside it. Uncovered pottery in the starter was also used with the working colonies. Meanwhile, researchers dig at Cape Creek on Highlands Island where Croatians live and also discovered numbered objects that may have been cut from the Moroccan colony. They have believed to find at Cape Creek, tiny exit in the Moroccan colonies left the island left the island to live to live to live to live to live with different tribes. The different approach of the colonists failed. However, many Chinese out of reach. Charles England in archaeology at East Carolina University summed this situation. We still don't know what happened, he reflected. We were ready to we are waiting to be pursued. Think about it. How does the story of Rockland remind you of official mystery stories you have read or watched? They were missing? It is your answer. And this is how it looks like. Okay, okay. John White created this map with the Outer Banks cheated being made. The patch at the head of the Upper South concludes a possible clue to the fate of the lost colony. First colony foundation doing out North Carolina. And this is the map. So again, this is actually words. And these are all of the archaeology digs. And these are Rux's copper necklace. For first colony foundation doing North Carolina. Archaeologists this Rocky Island have unearthed evidence of who lived there, including David mercury pipes and pottery, white glass trade beads, and nails. In May 2008, a first colony foundation recovered this necklace of copper squares that was likely worn by a member of the Roman tribe. A Roman copper necklace. They're all different. But we're at 1.1 yet. The artwork of John White. That's a time. John White was a college artist and cavalry. In 1585, he voyaged from England to the Arab Bays. During his years long stay in Morocco, he created more than 70 watercolor knowledge of indigenous people, plants and animals to get the sense of the environment in the New World. John White's watercolor the Native American town of Homo Una. Batu and Watch cheese. Batu and Watch cheese were two of the first Native Americans to have such a copy with the English. Batu was a creation of was chief and Watches was of the Rocket tribe. Both made a country, a scouting party, and Walter Ryan said before the first Rocket colony. Both returned to the group to England. While Washington disliked the English, fell into prison in England. On the other hand, became friendly with the English, being loyal to their for years. When married in Washington came to the Rusty, first country, Washington, we rejoined the people about to stay with the English, interpreter and guy. When the first colony fell, Basher returned to England with the following settlers. Their colonies wide groups of colonies. Was again serving as a turbine and helping suit relations with the Croatian. In August 1587, before wide left for England, Battle was bad and efficient converted Christianity. John White's color, marked color of a Native American sheep. And this is how it looks like. Alright, done. Finally! 1.1 Colonies in Virginia. Imagine setting the entire new area right across the ocean from your home. How would you prepare for this adventure? The founders of Jamestown, Virginia, found out the hard way just what it was like. Main idea: Virginia's first colonies struggled with starvation, war, and disease. Before finally success in the new home. And this is a picture. 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. It's about it. Watch this in 1 to 5. Founding Jamestown. In the early 1600s, England began starting colonies in America. And so Spain, and its colony, England persecuted the economy policy of mercantilism. Giving it a trade monarchy with its colonies. The colony provided raw materials to England, where workers made their goods. Finished goods were then shipped back to the colonies and sold or traded, helping England increase its wealth. Sorry. At the same time, merchant investors developed a new type of business called a joint stock company. Wealthy individuals invested in a venture or business project. Their funds paid for the individuals shared ownership of the venture. The business raised money for exploring new trade routes and establishing markets in new locations. The Cheesecake Bay. The Cheesecake Bay is a large inlet that extends through the present-day states of Virginia and Maryland. It is a rich ecosystem with more than 150 rivers and streams flowing into it. The area around the bay provided rich farmland to colonists who started farms and plantations there. In late 1606, a Georgetown company called the Virginia Company founded the first English settlement in Jamestown, the colony of Virginia. James King James I had signed a charter, already grant utility rights or privileges to the companies to set up the colonies after a difficult winter voyage across the Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,100 settlers of a Chesapeake Bay established a fort along the James River. The settlers were ill-equipped to agriculture, established a colony. They had little experience with farming, hunting, or fishing. They were more interested in searching for a gold. So they were starving. To make matters worse, Jamestown was located in low-lying area, perfect for mosquitoes that carry malaria disease. The club basis of the club many settlers. Colonies officer Johnston established a benefit trade relationship with the Potomac. The Native American tribe. The Potomac group wrote code that's the Potomac group settlers could use. They usually had guns and Potomac wanted, just certain weapons. C.C. Smith became president of the colony and put settlers in working planting crops, fishing, and village housing. The state colony grew. The Colonies arrived. Artists had portrayed Pocahontas in various ways, almost always as based on information rather than actually. Top left painted Lady Rebecca Roth in 1616 is the only profile for life. Our artists imagine her as a poet princess. Uh, Captain John Ralph, Tom Wright, painted did it 1945. And shortly after his marriage to Ralph in 1614, Painted dated 1852 AD. Then, in September 1609, Smith was injured and returned to England. That same year, the Virginia Company editor-in-chief of politics, who then cut off trade with settlers. In winter came, it's the settlers became starving again. Any colonists who looked for was being attacked. All city colonists started with in 1614, Chief Holton's daughter, Pocahontas, married John Ralph. The marriage helped usher in peace between the two different groups. Success to the last. In about 1612, Ralph started to grow very tobacco in Virginia. He was seeds he had acquired in the West Indies. The Ralphie's new tobacco, the Ralphie Rose new tobacco was less minted in Virginia that had been grown in the colony. By the following year, he contributed to England, where it became very popular. Tobacco farmers tried to produce enough to make rising demand for tobacco, but a driving economy force in the colonies. In 1619, the Virginia Company tried to pursue English movement to Virginia to its labor force. Some citizens were freeholders. Oh gosh. Hold up. Hold up. I forgot resources. Where is this? Where's this page? Oh, sorry. Oh no, I read that page. I forgot. So, 1619, some citizens, freeholders, paid their own transportation and received land and estates. Others were indentured servants who gave them 7 years of freedom to have their travel fees paid by the company or another person. Indentured servants were bound for a certain length of time to pay off their traveling expenses. Also in 1619, the Virginia Company established an assembly of elected delegates in Virginia called the House of Representatives. The first represented assembly the American colonies and gave the colonies more local control. Or historically speaking, one readership. What was the purpose of establishing an English settlement in Virginia? To inform and support opinions. How important do you think John Smith was to settlers? Use evidence from the readings to spur your opinion. 3. Make emphasis. Why did John Ralph's marriage to Pocahontas bring about peace to the Pocahontas, the Pocahontas colonies? Peace. Huh? Oh, yeah, physics. 1.2 Culture and History. Morgan's culture Jason, Virginia. Located near the sites of the origin of Jason settlement in the colony, the food agricultural captures the story of Virginia in the 1600s. Artifacts from the arrival of English colonies today's assembly in the earliest culture encounters and events that harassed are like the same. Visitors can explore cultures the Native Americans, the Europeans, and Africans since the 17th century. Virginia traced out begins in England. Bro, didn't even climb aboard regular fish ship. We nearly across the Atlantic, bringing the early colonists from England to Virginia. What can you fear the lives of the colonists based on the artifacts below? Lee toy horse and this toy. The countries of tiny toy horses. And this one was found and trashy on the few remains. Broken pottery and shattered glassware from the James born long ago. And this horse may have carried a toy rider in his saddle and had wheels so a child could push or pull it around. Gave me dice. In fact, this is how dice used to be. This is what it looks like. Oh, accusations and revealed more senior David Dyson to James Ford. Many of the dice are made of animal bone, but some are made of ivory or lead. It is possible that the lead dice have been made by a stone soldier who also made lead shots fired by weapon. It's the fort. Like modern dice, the opposite side of Jamestown dice at the descent. Soldiers passed long hours in the remote fort played dice games. Air picker. Believe it or not, Jason Collins was using silver sea creature to scrape teeth, clean dirt from fingernails, and scoop out earwax. Gold and silver grooming tools were offered war and jewelry in Europe during the late 1500s and the early 1600s. The first settlers in Jamestown included a surgeon and a barber who could perform. Yeah, who could perform. Yeah. Report basic medical care like removing infected teeth and infected earwax. Tailors sometimes used earwax to make the thread stronger, even if they had no beeswax. Brass freeman. This 16th century freeman was made in Nuremberg, Germany, and for the 11 brass the tubers found in James Fort. Several tailors joined the Jamestown colonists in 1607 and 1608, and their ability to sew and repair clothes was important to the French settlement. Oh, this is the whole team. Yeah, nah. What? What my English have felt illustrated to dream wide the water. More grounded white waters. Turn over the Jamestown archaeologists, this wide bottles were made in English from between 1680 and 1700. It felt upright in germ form with a rectangular cylinder. What did attack models remember its edition? FN reveals reveals in once large symbol of wealth status. During 17th century, high-ranking gentlemen allowed to order wine bottles from England to establish their personal seal. And this is how it looks like. Alright. Dude, why do they have this? Okay. 1.3. National Graphics Explorer William Queen. Okay, okay. There's an image of him uncovering where America began. The American dream was born on the banks of the James River by William Quiso. The experience said that Jamestown Fort had won washed away without a trace, but William Quiso didn't believe that. He thought something in glass and cross section of dirt exhibit in Jamestown Ranger Station that suggests something might still lie below the surface. So in 1994, we saw Sal load with a shovel to hit painter almost immediately nerve stayed dark but logs that decayed long ago. Must begin his quest for Jamestown very true. Cecil stabbed next to a portion of the Jamestown fort and hit his to reconstruction. Archaeologists that have worked for 20 years in Jamestown, in part of because, as he said, this is America's site. It belongs to the people. It sure does. It sure does. And this picture of Jamestown. So just take a picture you want to. Mandy, archaeologist William Christian has uncovered evidence at Jamestown that is changing how people view the settlement. Early discoveries. National Graphics Explorer William Christian search began in 1994 in Ashton's habitation of the 14th century. Its 14th anniversary in the 14th anniversary of Jamestown founding. The association, the preservation of Virginia at tweet and now plans to effectively the island. Quiso volunteered for the job. All about he had to go on were some historic accounts and documents, including a roughly drawn Spanish map from 1608 showing the triangle Jackson Fort. But he also knew ow. But he also knew that the underground, the only up underground rooms that surrounded the church were parts of the church tower. Okay, so originally the settlers would have little for the church, so he began there. Fragments in the early 1600s service in dark state told him he was on the right track. The truth about his time, Christian identified evidence of all corner of forced structures involves thousands of artifacts. He and his team at this point Crusoe wasn't working alone anymore. He could create construction before using materials and tools able to able to change how the settlement. During this process he discovered how tough the settlers had been. Crusoe said they were cutting down trees, digging holes, building buildings, digging ditches. Skeletons that Crusoe had evacuated, yeah, evacuated. Also revealed how hard the sacrifices were. Many dead during the stormy time of the early years in the wars of Native Americans. Others couldn't adapt to the new environment. Lifespans were short. What this concept of Jamestown is that it was a failure, but the settlers got many things right. Historians often faulted them for establishing the colony in what was basically a marsh. This map shows a triangle Jamestown fort and the houses that stood within it. The chief Powhatan sits on the top right of the map, while ships of settlers arrived on the James River. The River James. Wow, okay. Bye. AD 1607. James Fort and James Townry. Why is there an E? Okay, that's weird. Okay, fine. But they didn't find a way, find plan for this way. They defended themselves in Spanish. Located settled on the island north. The Spanish never attacked because they never knew where they were. Above all, they developed a new form of government. Around 1619, the settlers organized the rivers presented assembly and met at the church. According to Crusoe, that's when the Liberty got out of the bank and no one could step back in. These findings had told us about the one side. Crusoe hopes to cover more, but now the sea level about Jamestown is rising. To the point, evidence made this word release aside is word preserving. Where as he says, this is where America began. This is where the English settlements first became American. Historic thinking. One region. What did Crusoe learn about Jamestown settlements was its activation? Two. Another cause effect. Why did settlers choose Jamestown after starting the colony? Three. Conclusion. What action of the settlement part was key to the development of American constitutional democracy. 1.4. Oh, leave me alone. I can read. I'm not doing this, man. Don't leave me alone. So was not started. If I was not. If you leave, I'm also put next to you. What? You were. I was actually going to last time started. Why? I straight. Why? It's Lord. It's why. 4.4. Conflicts with Native Americans. When something that belongs to you is taken away, it can be difficult to keep the peace. Native Americans in the 16th century faced a challenge when colonists began to take over their ancestors' land. The idea. Wars between Native Americans and Virginia colonists raged on and off for decades as each group laid claim to the land. Wars of the Powhatan. For about 8 years after John Ralph and Pocahontas were married, Jamestown colonists and the Powhatan lived in peace. During that time, the Powhatan helped colonists paid corn, catch fish, and capture wildfowl. But as thousands of new colonists arrived to work for the Virginia Company, the Powhatan saw their land and culture taken away. In 1822, one Powhatan leader staged a rebellion against the English, the European, and Christian customs. Colonists killed him, and the Powhatan spawned a launching an attack on the colony, killed 100 settlers. This time set up a 10-year war. But when peace finally came, it lasted for more than a decade. And even during the peaceful years, the colonies started from knife to provoke the the politics. The demand for tobacco and cotton increased. The colonies claiming the England king owned the colony and his land. City grabs the land deemed. Oh no, the door just opened. The door just opened. Oh no. But even during the peaceful years, the colony's desire for land continued to grow. What was that? What was that? Okay. It was all obligated. My gosh! My gosh! Dude! I literally just fell. I could have fell down. My God! Thank God. Okay. Thank God. I should have saved me. Did it wrong. Okay. I'm scared I fell down. My locker could have rose again. Although no one lived on the land, the Bolhad hunted, fished, and farmed on it. 2 years later, the Bolhad attacked the colony again. Triggering yet another war. In 1646, the Bolhad surrendered, and later was captured and later killed. The two groups signed a treaty and acquired the Bolhad to live in lands in the north or York River. This had made a yearly payment to the colonies of 20 beaver skins. The Bolhad had lost their power in Jamestown. Vikings rebellion. As years passed, colonies between Native Americans and colonies increased. In 1660, the governor of Virginia, William Berkeley, urged colonists to interact peacefully and maintain trading to avoid a costly war. However, by 1670, tensions surfaced among colonists to own lands and those who did not. Landless freemen resented their lack of property and wanted a stronger voice in Virginia's government. Right. Cheese came to Bay's colony to 1650 to 1700. And this is how it looks like, okay? The brown are ears that settled by 1650. The red ones were settled by 1675, and the yellow ones were settled by 1700. You tell the more years grow, the more the lag is bigger. They don't pass the boundary lines. That's later in the book. The new product. So many of them had to purchase two Turkish land with no tobacco price. Tobacco price, and high ladder price. It would have been just 50 minutes here. Total price, the high line price is for code price is found in the corner. They also can line for quality control to one, even though the City 46 treaty. Come on, you're a country man, you wealthy plantation in national banking challenge American leadership. He argued that the governors held too much power and that the colonists should be more involved the government. He also wanted to claim more politics land, making his group landless followers tagged Native Americans in 17 an attempt revolution later called Baker's Rebellion. Berkeley accused Baker of being a traitor or someone disloyal to his or her own people of cause because he believed Bacon had challenged power of the government and his fellow wealthy plantation. Bacon had growing public support. However, owing to his pressure, Berkeley agreed to be led with him. But the House of Burgesses refused to request Bacon to apologize to Berkeley. His power struggle between Bacon and Berkeley continued for several months. Bacon and his army even burned Jamestown to the ground in 1767. Tennessee. Millie ended roughly when Bacon died of unexpectedly. Bacon's older Bacon's fellow leaders to anger by these events. King Charles demanded that Berkeley return to England. Some historians have interpreted Bacon's rebellion as a fight with offering the local group, while others have described it as a power struggle between a powerful government and wealthy colonists. However, the Native Americans who were driven from their lands were ultimately the ones who lost the most. Critical viewing. Bacon followed including man from the old Washington line. His picture of the burning of Jason City Texas, Howard Prater shows Bacon in the center, but not in the hand of everyone else. What can you fear by the Bacon's placement by the spirit of rebellion? And this is the picture. Alright, yeah. Historic video. What region? How do you treat a city forcing the rebellion? Dude, it's pretty bad. How did the Batman refer David bring concerned about that? Why did the National Bank had public support for its rebellion? Wow. Wow. Ah! Oh, that's good. 2.1. Pig rubs. Pig rubs. Part 2. Are we there right? Are we there yet? You probably asked this question during a long car ride. No. You wanna know why? Because I did it. You did your answer. Imagine sailing across the ocean and crashing with a ship. Colonists who braved the long journey from England to North America may have thought they would never arrive. The idea, the new England colonies became a new hope for groups who wished to create societies centered around other religious principles. The Pilgrims found a home. During the early 1600s, European settlers continued to arrive in the American colonies. Despite ongoing conflicts between Native Americans and colonists, at this time in England, religious dissenters or people who disagree with the beliefs of the Church of England could have been imprisoned. Uh, Wait, what? Could have been. Oh, come on! You would be probably fine. Your prisoner are fine. Who's the Church of England? Can be prisoner fine. This is yearn for the mind. This is yearn for the minds. That's started. That's weird. This is yearn for religious freedom. So it's like they left the home, so across the ocean, and settle the colonies. Because separatists are people who created all kinds inside the Church of England. The Puritans were one social group. They did not believe in the reforms introduced by the Church of England, and it saw the separation as the only separate option. September 20 group of prisoners were the Mayflower, England, bound for the northern part of Virginia. The ship stayed straight off course. It led to Cape got cold. Once they realized they would not land in Virginia, the Pilgrims decided that the Mayflower would come back. This agreement laid out a plan for governing a new colony. Right. The Pilgrims, Hall Museum, powerful Massachusetts. Even Pilgrims were expensive. These eyeglasses on display in Pilgrim Hall Museum in Plymouth, Massachusetts, were probably made in England sometime in the 17th century. They were made of glass, horn, wood, and leather. The case is carved from pine wood. From Cape Cod, the Pilgrims moved from the area which was part of Massachusetts. During the first winter, half the Pilgrims died from illness and exposure to cold. The following spring, the neighborhood Hulu Squinito, a member of the Prophet, helped the Pilgrims to grow their own food They identified which crops grew best and when to plant it. They also showed pilgrims how to use hand and local shipping to fertilize the crops. Experience in local plantation, the Americans also shared their knowledge how to plant corn. These is squashed together for the best result. The two groups celebrated the pilgrims' first harvest and first day celebration considered the first Thanksgiving. And this is eyeglass. This eyeglasses with William Case. This how look like. And this, hold on. It's on the next page. Oh come on! It doesn't tell me. Wait, what's this? I feel. Oh, okay. What's that? Those are eyeglasses. Those are the brown teeth. Okay, I don't know what it is. I see upon a hill. Like the pinnacle, the church believe the Church of England, the digital form that allowed the privilege to have it. The purchase went before the church from within. Began in the 1650, the person became the migration from England to Massachusetts Bay. The Roman part of the Massachusetts Bay community believed God would create a more community. As Princeton leader John Whitford said, the colony would be as inflated upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us. The previous system of self-governance was called the New England Way. The church was center of the community, and all citizens were required to attend. Persons believed that a congregation bound by a sacred oath held all authority is compared to members who disagree with church doctrine. People who try to leave a congregation lose their property. Purchases, but the strangers did not allow descendants within their own community. All persons agree with this new legal way. In 1636, Cleveland Green man Thomas Hood and a group of persons left Massachusetts to found a new colony in Kentucky. 3 years later, in a sermon, Hooker provided inscription for the fundamental orders of Kentucky. The document established a grand general assembly of representatives of many towns. Unlike Massachusetts, church membership without condition for voting. In 1631, religious dissenter and, and Minister Roger Williams founded Massachusetts Bay Colony. He had 10 laws regarding church attendance and tax support. For the church, there was matters set away from the colony. 1636, he bought land for the Nervin and found colony of Rhode Island. He based the country idea a church and state affairs should be separate. In 1637, the Massachusetts Bay Colony leaders managed another decision. Added Henderson had anger over on these protests by teaching the people had to respond directly to God, not the church for their action. Henderson also believed the ministers were unnecessary. She founded a settlement in the colony of Rhode Island. And this is how the boat looks like. Wait a second! No, that's a wall. There's no way that's part of the shit. There's no way culture. Shit. Built in England is 1950. The Rimfire 2 is full scale rim called the vessel from England to North America in 1620. Upon completion, it's from England to New England followed the Pilgrim's route. It remains a working social moved from Moon upon about Massachusetts. Historic Physics, Red Region. Most of the Mayflower Company and Wise Report. Two main emphases. Why purpose lead citizenship to church membership. history of this generation. Why did some groups leave the Massachusetts-based colony to establish new colonies? 2.2 American forces squeezed from 1580 to born in 1580 and died in 1622. Squidito was a special instrument of God for pilgrims way beyond expectations. From the journal of William Barford, governor of Powell Colony, the pilgrims couldn't have suspected that a fluent English-speaking Native American would happen on the scene and choose to act as a guy. Squidito noted choose Guatemala Meta has seen a great idea. He found how to, he found the pilgrims how to grow, maize, and where to catch fish. The Germans showed them the ropes to identify a palmouth. Squeaky even died in the pilgrim service. What we don't know for sure exactly what came before. Early life. Part folk hurt. Part birth Part myth, much of what we know, uh, I think, or think we know, but Squinito comes from often conflicting eyewitnesses witness accounts. According to some sources, he was kidnapped from his Massachusetts home in 1605 by Englishman George Weymouth to England. While there he is apparently treated well and found English. The idea being that he was trying to interpret for those who stayed in colony. John Smith, one of the founders of Jamestown Colony, insisted had returned him to America for that purpose in 1650. Remarkably, Swinito was kidnapped a second time, events of which most authorities agree. One of Smith's men. Come on, I'm set, bro. Why would I have 15 pages left? Come on. 60-50. Market 22 was kidnapped at the time. Events. What is Smith's man? Or one of Smith's men. One of Smith's men. Remarkably. Oh, there's still more time. And this is a wooden sculpture of Squidito. And this Pilgrim Hall Museum, Falcon, Massachusetts. The nation always continued to operate public museum. Pilgrim Hall tells the founding story of America. Pilgrim's arrival, the struggles, and faith living paramount. The United Church's culture, Squidito, forms part of the museum's collection. It stores one artist thinks the Native American guy might look like. What is Six Men? Oh, come on. What is. I really don't know. What's with it? Thomas Hunt Squidito and served all Native Americans to Spain, while where the Englishmen hoped to sell them to slavery. Fortunately, Squidito managed to get away. Some say Spanish speaks were Mexican. Most accounts wrote I would say the England had befriended merchants in London. This period may have been was created to learn English. In 1719, he still the merchants knew England is a home to establish trade with Native Americans. Life money is a period. Screening to return his whole life to find that most people the Pontoon had been wiped out by the sea. But also he lived with the Wam on no early 1621. A Native American named Somerset Kasha. Oh come on! I didn't say Concha. the early 1621, the Native Americans called supposedly started swinging to the power college. Sosa had been first made Americans to agree to pilgrims. The limited understanding of English, he really couldn't speak to them. People who know had far better command of the language. Larry Troublemaker. She was a known this period guy. Story has story about struggles he taught. For example, fearful of losing his position of power, Squeaky tried to pit the Pilgrims against the Native Americans. He spread rumors that masses was joining forces with other tribes in a plan to attack the Pilgrims. Squeaky was fought with undercover muscle demanded that Squeaky was could be turned over for punishment. Certain that the Wab's problem chief Esquilito, William Rutherford refused. With more colony ships arriving in the area, Balfour knew that he and the new settlers would need Squiddy more than ever. People a lot of Squiddy could interface in memory of the colony. He found settlers more hard local ground, and Serbian had a better he would help negotiate a peace treaty between France and the one tribe. In the fall of 1821, the Woman's the proposals excluded to establish peace with prophets since forest the first peace agreement. 2 million times, a private to be breathed. A guy, William Rutherford, as stitched around Cape Court, the Native American contracted the fever and died. According to some sources, Sweden said that the Rutherford on his deathbed prayed for me. Discovery. Michael, it just man is gone in heaven. Apparently, he was having a powerful influence as Sweden. He had no idea that his influence and aid had helped to secure the survival of the colonies. Historically, what region? How is Sweden held in Palma to form opinion? For a support opinions. Do you think the tree of the Wampus could be created into with asked Sweden? Why not? 3. Draw conclusions. Based on the dialogue words, what did Sweden learn about from the pilgrims? 2.3 document-based countries founders of democracy. Democracy is found. What in which the principles. One of the witches is calling it from historical documents. The little documents underlined rights and career rules were governing communities fairly. Some of these rights inspired out to offer the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. The colony of New England pursued and established a new style of governing and revolved around town hall meetings. These meetings were some first experience in American democracy. Certain requirements limited who could vote. The meetings, however, in most cases only male property only church members had votes. They also participated fully in town hall meetings, regardless of gender, race, gender identity, or this. Krugerville, Old Town Hall, located in Central Bay, New Hampshire, was built 1737. It continues to be to function as a meeting and the polling place. Below such celebrated citizens leaves Old Town Hall as a voting primary during the 2012 election. One details for the former educated citizens of the primary followed the town hall. And this is an image. Town hall, okay? The talking about primary stories, do talking about the various parties. 12 1215. The Barter Charter or Great Charter started a treaty between King John of England and the Barters, rebelling against the heavy taxes the king levied at them. On card that they had paid. The original document contained 63 clause, the detailed laws of everyone started to follow. Principles in the Bar Culture were later embodied in the 1689 English Bill of Rights. Said the right to a trial by the jury and protection from fines and cruel punishment. Construction response. Why is significant that the Magna Carta includes the phrase lawful judgment of his equals? No free man shall be seized or imprisoned, or stripped of her his rights, or possession, or outlaw, or spell, or deprive of his standing in any way, nor will he proceed for force against it, or send others to do so, especially by the lawful judgment of his equals, or by law of the land. Document 2. Primary source legal document from that may found a copy. 2020. Church prior to settling private institutions, the settlers to be signed the May flower compound has ownership. The agreement established self-governance or control over of the colony based on the territorial principle of colony consent. Construction results. One reason is to make flower compact singers give for working together and so by to having undertake a voyage to plant the colony in the northern part of Virginia to soldiering and materially to the presence of God and one another, conviction promise, and combine ourselves together into a single body process for our better ordered presentation. Preservation. 38 at the ends of forcing to enact. Why can't this for no, it's not even bro. Just go. It's be weird. Whoa. And dude, bro. It, dude, go, bro. Stop. And to enact costume and frame such charge equal laws. I shall be fine. Those be a conviction for the general good of the colony. Document free. Primary source legal document for the. I know he's there. Oh no, he's in the bathroom watching. There's no way he's watching from the bathroom. There's no way. Primary source orders and document. Kentucky, see right now. Fire Kentucky create assembly of elected representatives from each town in the colony. The Indians captured in the document were later recited in the U.S. Constitution. Constructive response. Why do you think it was important to the colony's founders to represent this town or they represented? It was ordered that it decreased there would be nearly two general assemblies or courts. The first shall be the court election, wherein they shall be yearly chosen from time to time. So many magistrates and other public officers and shall be found represented by the necessary da da da, which choice shall be made all by all that are made freemen and have taken the oath of fairly box box loyalty and do cohabit with the jurisdiction da 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 of the town where they live. Barbara, bro, hurry up! I will still have all of this stuff. There's a glitch. 2 before war in which trials to continue to take over of Native American land. I call this cause in '70s. Colonies also rose by colony and one New England town include an isolation of witchcraft and wickedness fruit. By the city hundred, war with Native Americans raged in the New England colonies in which trials nearly tore town Sabo apart. King Philip War. In 1671, because of increasing tensions with Native Americans, the power government forced the Washington surrender guns. 4 years later, a chain of events led to a bloody war. A Native American named John Southstop was a convert to Christianity and interpreted for his colonies. Soon after, he warned of impending attack by war by a woman a woman leader called uh, Viacom. She was found dead. With little or no evidence, authorities tried to hang the trio of witnesses for his murder. In response, Viacom and his true time faced into task throughout New England, destroying 12 of them completely. By the next summer, Viacom's troops were suffering from disease, beta hunger, and a shortage of weapons. Sure, the cabbage came to an end. English settlement had given Middlecom the new nickname King Philip. No one remembers why, and these attacks became known as the King Philip War. Around 600 colonies and thousands of Native Americans died in the war of America. Agitations in Islam. February 2019, offering the village of South Massachusetts accused three women of witchcraft. Presumably, the charges stemmed from the church material of some village girls. But it didn't take long for people to think that witches exist. It would really be a sound. Authorities tried to arrest people accused accused by fellow villagers. Nearly 200 women and men were accused about trial for witchcraft. Evidence considered largely situation of uh, executions and no more. 20 of the accused were put to death, most by hanging. Stories feed the issue of denying trails may have been the woman's ownership property. In British society, the women were rarely allowed to own property. When men died, his son or sons usually inherited his property. If he had no male child, his wife or daughter could inherit it. Many slaughtered races because of witchcraft were women who had inherited property. Their status as probably women was took up and further to challenge traditional gender roles. Hate one, bro! Why is he fat? Bro! His friend calls about woman and further gender roles. The threat. opposed by women and property owners. They have driven many rich acquisitions. Conclusions. Governor William Philip Finney and create matter influences minister intentionally supported the trials. They realized that they got too far. The May 1693, Philip had pardoned all bro. They have pardoned all of those still in prison, such as courts, dismissed with charges, and returned not guilty of various remaining cases. Strange episode 7, which trials was over. Story thinking, what region? Why did many contact New England towns? 2. Now let's cause effect. What effect did King Philip War have on Native Americans in the region? 3. Main efficient. Why were land woman targets? Where's the witchcraft accusations? The quick review. The very New England creature they caught that Bachelor Road on the summit with his trial and left in the page for his book. It's in the 200 years after the seventh witch trial. Instructions to Joseph Baker reimagined events reported to have taken place in Salem. More different ways witches are proportioned in math writing and drawing. And this is what it looks like. This is another one. And this is another picture. Done. Alright. I'll come back. Wait. Further. Oh. Ate the other burger. Why? Why would he eat the other burger? Why? He doesn't deserve it. I'm suffering more. He didn't give it. I should stop. Dumb. The middle colonies. Have you ever traveled to a new place and discovered a culture different from that of your hometown? A colonies try to sell from New England to the middle colonies would meet people from European countries who are foreigners and do you colony identity. The idea of middle colonies include diverse mixed cultures, regions, and people to countries within to sales of this region. New Netherlands to New York, Syria to the Mid-Atlantic, North America. The middle colonies include New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Some settlers from settlers countries such as England, France, Netherlands, Germany, Greece, Portugal, can colonies for different reasons. Some were fleeing religious wars in their home countries. Others were conducting why? And Portugal's cave colonies for different reasons. Some were fleeing, which is wars in the whole country, or declaring war. The first settlers arrived about C14 within trade with Britain. 1624, Carson Jacobs Bay, working behalf of Judge West Indian Company, founded the Netherlands to provide a base to trade Hudson River. The, 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 the first settlers of New Netherlands worked for the company. For about 50 years, the colonists maintained good relations with Native Americans, which especially for land ocean grew. Particularly, Native Americans often took the Dutch to take the land without free agreement, so they didn't do so. Fishing rows broke out. In 1664, she charged England Edinburgh James Duke of York, which had forced the Dutch out. However, the English made it do so easy and ensured English control of the eastern of America. James took over the colony and renamed it New York. The English made peace and Native Americans living there. Payne's Woods. So after assuming control of New York, James granted land between Delaware and lower Hudson rivers to Lord John Berkeley and Sir George Carty, who named the area New Jersey. New Jersey eventually to West Jersey, East Jersey. In 1681, Charles granted a charge for a colony to Englishmen named William Penn. Penn wanted to establish a safe home for courts, members of the Religious Society of Friends, Christian movement devoted to peaceful principles. Colonies emphasized education, equality, and rejected formal worship ministry because they were perceived by others as done. Anti-authority and even dangerous. Thousands of quarters were persecuted in England for even the American colonies. And this is how it looks like. So this is the only one that's New England colonies. The your middle colonies is the green one, and you can see Vermont. Both New and middle colonies, they own it. But really, they do it colonies got first, so they actually won. And there's solid colonies. The the middle colonies have 4 states. Okay, and with the two adders, critical view. In 1683, 1682, William Penn made leader of the London advocate under an elm tree in the Delaware River in present day Philadelphia. Right, they signed a treaty promising cooperation. In this phrase, our sculpture panel, the U.S. military pen is in the center. Goes through toward the activity around the chest. What does it freeze reveal that? Reaction versus tree side. Is this a picture? 3, 2, 1. No! Pending was college servant, which was Charles Wood 2 made it named it Pennsylvania to Penn's father. Penn set out to college made a Corey doctrine to principle or a policy accepted by a group vertical development. By the time his doctor needed Pennsylvania to extreme device society, politically that encouraging religious minorities settled in. Quote doctors also exercise tolerance for others. Pennsylvania, all colonies, no matter their religion could worship in their own way. Pet courage to advise others in other ways to keep peace in Native Americans, such as the Lenny left he purchased land for them, which then he sold to various people from other colonies, different their countries in Europe, was in Sweden, Finland, and Dutch were already they kind of came English subject on Japan. European settlers included the North countries in this other part of the colony that did not like living on the Japan's government and ties clash with Pennsylvania's offered. Penn tried to settlement to unite the English and Europeans, but in 1624, after 2 days of difficulty, he allowed Delaware to before his own assembly. Elsewhere, its development present conflict between the American colonies continued. Story feeding, one region. One factor contributed to the diverse biblical colony. Two, adopted college fate. One cause William Penn's July Delaware for the own government. Three, return map. No Delaware located to Delaware on the map. Why does it make sense that Penn might have difficulty uniting people who settled there with the settlers who lived in the rest of Pennsylvania? 3.2 Floating license. Have you ever heard the phrase "should number in 1600 Native American Europeans married with each other in no college"? They served as something buried in the harder with a large group in standalone. The average colony considered consisted of 5 tribes who had worked together to defeat other Native American tribes in French. Clashes among cultures. As one colony the colonists continued moving into New England and the Middle Colony, two groups of Native Americans began to feel increasingly threatened by the presence. One group that banded together was the Algonquin, consisting of tribes who lived along the Atlantic coast, spoke similar languages. The Pequot tribe resided in New England. The, the Lampi inhabited the region that became the Middle Colony. The Irishmen were hunters and gatherers. They also fished and planted crops. They moved each season to follow supply of food, bushel, and live in temporary camps while away from their village. Historically, the Albans were the enemies of the united group of tribes. The Iroquois lived in was currently central New York City. The French gave the Americans the name of Iroquois because they called it the Hot Dogs Sunday, or people in the longhouse. For the style of home they built and lived with their families. And this is the present-day boundary. The present-day boundary or what it is now. Solid Fox. It's all tribes. I give you 50 to take a picture. But it's not more than 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, what? That's it. That's it. Ah! Okay, there you go. See? That's easy. I gave you 3 seconds. Come on, that's to be unfair. Be fair. This is the one pot accessory. Weapons are white, purple beads made of shells of a certain clam and sea snail. They mercury woven items with strings and one pot. The decorations recorded information such as affirming the wearer. The arrival of colonists from Europe added another source of attention to the region. Yet another wave of settlers are now occupying disputed tribal territory, disrupting hunting grounds, communities, and singular sites. United we stand. Even before Europeans began colonizing claiming lands in North America, colonists abandoned groups the Americans like to sell the for alliances or agreements with one another. One more important alliances with the African Confederacy. Confederacy is an agreement among several groups to protect and support one another in battle or other institutions. In around 1600, the Irish Confederacy joined together five tribes: the Mutaha, the Ola Odawa, the Oda Oda, the Kola Kola, and Sentity. Identify the Western region. The addition, addition, institution, about 103 years later, will change the Confederacy station by banding together Native Americans home to protect their lands and cultures to prevent further strength, but they also for the license to French and British. These license ships over sometimes Native Americans even pitted French, British, and colonists from other countries because one another. Actually, the Waka after trade first with the Dutch and British settlers in search for firearms. In this way, trading partners could rely on each other. They support each other in battle, like why the Lipon, the herders, both enemies of the Axis, allied with the France. The battle between the France and Axis over controlled fur trade continued. Due to high demand for the fur, beavers became sacred in the East in the mid-1600s. As a result, Axis Confederacy moved west to get major access to beavers in the region. Where completed tribes along the way, the Axis also attacked New France in the north, hoping to end France's fur trading in the Ohio Valley and beyond. In 1889, the Axis attacked a settlement near of Lassie near Montreal in present Canada. The town was responsible of a year raised 2 years earlier, in which the France had destroyed the Axis corps. The Axis corps had 240 senators, and very settlement. More back and forth, retaliation followed until both sides became rarely a conflict. This weakened the Axis made peace in 1661 that treaty of neutrality, in which they agreed not to take sides agreed not to sides in future wars. The conflict over land at first was growing even more. One historically one region. How did the foreign alliances help the members of the Irish Confederacy to make emphasis? In one way, the demand for beaver fur events alliances among Native Americans and Europeans. Interpret maps. How does map help you understand why some Native Americans living near the Great Lakes might have easy targets for the Irish Confederacy? 3.3 Sour colonies. Have you ever made a plan that didn't work and strengthened? Leaders developed continued the plans for sour colonies, but as more colonies ran, some of the plans were better than others. Imagine, the sour colonies provided economic opportunities and social challenges for the colonists who settled in them. Colonists smashing in commerce. As you read in the Senior Center Church because the first colony settlement in 1699. In 1699, Williamsburg became the capital of the Virginia Company. Called it. Over time, Europeans established settlements in many parts of the South. Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia together for the start of colonies. In 1632, Chief Charles the First England granted charter to George Crummins, who held the title of Baltimore, to establish a new colony called Maryland in the northern part of Virginia. Most of the settlements were small landowners and ranchers. Pop discovers ultimately death. His son, King Lord of Baltimore, and Maryland operator is the person responsible for the call. Maryland's location should be made to find easy rate to trade in the region's range. First story was a deal for growing tobacco. The wealthy plantation owner and merchants near the docks introduces small rivers that flow to larger bodies of water. The Cheesecake Bay. They can do more. They can more easily load ships tobacco for export and receive ships for around the world loaded with goods. By 1670, Carolina had become a colony. A city that went and raised split into two colonies. North Carolina, where it's settled by small planters, Virginia and South Carolina. Many of South Carolinians celebrated Cape Barbados and the West Indies. They started large plantations and grew tobacco, rice, cotton, sugarcane, and other crops. They purchased enslaved Africans to work in these plantations. In 1729, North Carolinians had become a rural colony. Colonies for the governor and council appointed by the king. Georgia, Georgia, a grand experiment failed. Both British and American colonies were found were founded for profit and religious freedom. But Georgia, the last mainland British colony in North America, began a different idea. James Omicron and Viscount John Prevost envisioned the colony in which the bathers and the very poor could make a new start. King George the Second wasn't interested in helping the poor, but he understood that Georgia could be a military buffer between Spanish Florida and South Carolina. He drafted the charges, placing control of the colony in the hands of trusted the control could never receive financial gain for Georgia nor own. Uh, so now this is the summer colonies. The longer didn't have it, but that was it's all of it. This it did by this bad. This is what the freaking colonies looked like. Georgia doesn't look like at all. Virginia, wait, West Virginia is there too. But West Virginia, this is my time. So the Civil War, okay? Yeah, nor own. Come on, critical viewing. Tobacco, sorry, all lie within it. The government always required all colonists follow these three rules based on beliefs. No slaves, no liquor, and limited land ownership for each settler. His lovely vision did not last long. Sales between riots is 73 feet. Many of them followed college strict policy unreasonable. As Jordan grew slowly, his role for as militant government to establish a British colony to start a conflict. The Spanish suspected the British smuggling slaves and goods in Spanish province with the search inspiration. In 1740, officers attacked Florida, aiming to drive the Spanish out. The Spanish, in turn, invaded Georgia in 1792 after a number of articles, most likely Nineveh, bringing it calm to the buffer zone. This trusted recognized Georgia would not thrive under orchestrated rule. By 1750, laws allowed liquid slavery, and there were no limits on land ownership. In 1752, colony of control over Georgia returned to Great Britain. The United States had failed. Story 50, one region. In what other ways Georgia different other sour colonies? To be interested, why Matt James often had enlisted unlimited the land by the land southern cap. It's pretty bad. By the city of Charles in the map. What values do you think the city enjoyed today? Enjoyed due to its geographic position. Yeah, okay. And before I go to the next page, I feel I forgot to read this. See, this has to do with tobacco. And this is what the critical view. Tobacco was one of the major crops in southern colony farms. Today, they're working in planting, harvesting, and preparing tobacco for market was much the same as it was during the colonial period. In the top photo, a man intends seed for harvesting the whole tobacco plant while traveling at its base. The bottom photo, the bundles of tobacco how to clear or dry and preserve. Based on the details and notes of both photos, what kind of challenges do you think tobacco farmers encounter? And this is what it was. Okay, we end here. Okay. 3.4. Geography and history. Economic activities in the fishing colony. Main idea. Colonies use abundant resources around them to develop thriving economies in free colonial region. Shaping the economy Jamie Copy. When European settlers came to North America, they took advantage of the regions of natural resources. Natural resources divided into two categories: living and non-living. The earth provides living resources such as plants, trees, and animals that help feed, shelter, and clothe humans. The earth also provides non-living resources such as minerals, water, and soil. Both living and non-living natural resources provide raw materials or substances used to make products. People use natural resources to engage in economic activity, or production, distribute, and consumption of goods and services. When you go to a store to buy groceries, you're engaging in economic activity. The natural resources, raw materials, economic activities related. Consider an example. Colonies in the England such as trees in this region's fig, versus for timber. Used for building, timber became one of New England's most important raw materials. Shipbuilding became one of the most important economic activities. The natural resources and raw material available in different regions shaped just how economies develop. Some natural resources and resources, raw materials, economic activities were unique to one another, but others were common along the free. All right. So these are the colony economies, and this is what you do: cattle, corn, fish, indigo, corn, iron, pigs, rice, rum, sheep, uh, flax, flax, furs, grain, shipbuilding, timber, tobacco, trade and shipping, and wheels. And this is what that looks like. Now, this map looks a little different today. It is because like part of Bay is actually part of the British, part of Canada today. But yeah, this is all of it. Wow, if you imagine all the letters, the beginning, they all like the first one make a line. Okay. Okay. Colonial trade. The American, the American. Oh my! I wish it's 3.5, not 3.4. No. Colonial trade. The American colonies exported raw materials, agricultural products such as timber and tobacco to Europe. In the stage, they imported and manufactured goods for Europe. So raw materials and agricultural products went to Europe, and manufactured goods went to American colonies. So Valley's changing climate was mild, short with summers and long, cold winters. Its physical features were mountains, forests, rivers, and port soil. Its raw materials were fish, wheels, timber, cattle, and wheat. It is it, economic activities were farming, fishing, shipping, rubber products. Production. And Kentucky was mild, short summers, long, cold winters. So the same. It also had its 15 features were also mountain, rivers, and porous mountains. There's no forest in this side. Though. Mountains, rivers. The only difference between this is the forest part. It also says rocky soil. Mountains, rivers, and rocky soil. Raw materials are fish, wheels, timber. However, her Kentucky again, it's just cattle and iron. And economic activities were shipbuilding and rubber production. The blue colonies are different though, because New York had humid summers and cold, snowy winters. Its physical features were mountains, plains, hills, and rivers. Its raw materials were furs, timber, cattle, and wheat. And economic activities were trade and shipping, sheep farming, and farming. Pennsylvania, mild summers, mild winters. Its climate was mild summers, mild winters. Physical features were mountains, plains, fertile, and rivers. Its raw materials were flax, wheat, sheep, cattle, and pigs. And economic activities were sharp farming and shipbuilding. Summer colonies, Virginia's climate was warm, humid, and plentiful rainfall. Its physical features were rich soil, rivers, coastal lowlands. Its raw materials were furs, cattle, pigs, wheat, corn, tobacco, and fish. And its economic activities was farming, fishing, run, and production. North Carolina, the climate was warm, humid, plentiful rainfall. Physical features was deep forests, rivers, grasslands. Its raw materials were Indo, tobacco, furs, timber, pigs, cattle, rice, and corn. And economic activity was just farming. Just farming. The one. Only one. And this is the college population growth. As the colonies developed their economic activities, people migrated to North America in search of economic activities, and the population grew dramatically. Being a geographer, what identify main ideas and details for each colony region. Identify an example of a natural resource that helped the region develop a specific ecology to a church. In one way, raw materials ecology of the new what colony sour colony is like a different. Three. Another side ecology concept. In one way, the quality equality of natural resources by population growth in the 13 colonies. 3.5. Wool we were by. Europe had long established campuses like London, Paris, and Berlin. Just like colonists first met American chiefs called portion. They visited include Society capital. In the century, Werewolf Colm mostly was the capital of the Poltahog tribes. Today, researchers are exploring its sites to learn about the tribes and interaction in colonies. See of the power. Oh, we gotta expect a picture. See of the power of a chiefdom. It was in Werewolf Colm that Justin first met Paulton's daughter Pocahontas, who eventually married Collins John Robb. Smith would later tell dramatic tale of it rescuing Pocahontas from certain executions in the heads of the chief Pocahontas warriors. Stories suspect the true story of the meeting with the legal society, but nevertheless was a key moment in the relationship to the colonies and the Pocahontas people. Division Will the village war called by a call with myself the president and presented the real Chita calling it citizen. But Chita had been something bad. We wasn't blood around but the Department King River, which Europeans later renamed the York River in present-day Virginia. The village had made geographic advantages. River bluffs and nearly creeks served as natural defenses against attackers. Nearby waterways were sources of drinking water and fishing. The surrounding. You know what we do? Surrounding archaeologists and members of Virginia's Native American tribes spent long hours carefully obs- attacking the werewolf the war wall called closely site just to New York City. Take a picture of this. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 0. Okay, done. Okay. We're the last page. We're the last page of this Pocahontas territory. It one 1600 AD. It's one of the 600. This is part of the territory. This is the boxes, the map of boxes, and they make it so. Clear view. Exactly artifacts provide insight to the people who was inhabiting the region. What did this name from reward revealed by people who lived in this Native American village? You can take pictures if you want to. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, 0. So the land was soon hold on. The surrounding the surrounding land was suitable for farming and nearby forests, provided wood provided wood yeah, see, provided wood for building and fires. Archaeological evidence such as the Virginia Indians, I've never heard that man, had lived in the werewolf colony society since around 8000 BC. The early By the early 1600s, the village was a seat of power for Chief Powhatan. He ruled over a group of more than 30 Al on Quinny, trying to spread out over 8,000 square miles or cheesecake for beer. Sorry, World War today. World War II, the more what wealth lies in knowledge. It reveals the how society. It's still not chief how to abandon the religion and tired looking Lewis Cole was forgotten. In 2003, researchers announced they used evidence historic maps and documents people point the village location. Since then, archaeologists have evacuated the site. Finding World War Commonwealth has a lot of research to learn not only how the society fall, but also the meaning of the English Native American culture that took place between 1607 and 1609. Archaeologists found a number of English artifacts that closely resembled listed list listed of good trade goods. John Smith kept in his Jamestown journal. This included certain copper diamonds, hard fragments of a spoon and small beads. In order, it has supports among local tribes. Chief Ponahan had tried to maintain an exclusive trade, adjusting such as trade with the English. Within a few years, the English and the Ponahan would be at war. World War Com also first preserves evidence of a brief isolated moments before the conflict. The two sides engaged between bonds of trade and cultural exchange. One historic figure, one region. One time the United Poland Jamestown settlements trade with each other. Two major connections. Think about what you learn about Jamestown's culture. And one way geography affects the relationship to Jamestown and where was it? Three main generation. One purpose is to do a story and preserve science like World War comes Lawson serves. Country for the college review. You use copy words including sentence. Blake had to work for a set number of years to pay off their passages to the colonies. Two, Governor Blake because the national banking of being in Blake. Three, the Virginia Company was known as a Blake because its shareholders also owned stock in the company. Lord Bombardine, his son became the Blake of the Maryland colony. 5. The colony had received a blade from King James I to establish a colony in Virginia. 6. Governed by the Crown through appointed governor, the castle Carolina was a Blake. In 1600s, a Blake who disagreed with the police, the church could be punished. Reach that charge. If you haven't really completed the charge, if it's about the challenge established for the first 50 colonies, lose the four if it didn't answer the question. I read the settlers live under difficult conditions. Blade. I know many settlers died of disease. Blade. And so blade. What kind of physical changes did settlers face in the colonies? How did John Smith help settlers settlers from starting in Jamestown? Lesson 1.1. What caused the conflict between colonists and Jamestown and the Potahot? Lesson 1.4. 11. What caused the National Banking stage rebellion? Lesson 1.4. 12. How were the pilgrims at Potah's involvement in the church of England different? That's lesson 2.1. 13. What was the reason for massive attack and resistance in the South in 1692? 14. How did England benefit from territorial of New Netherlands? 3.1. 15. How did William Tennis Corner Willis how influenced his vice direct makeup president? 3.1. Why did Irish tend to France? 3.2. How did Maryland's access to the Cheesecake Bay benefit the colony? That's 3.3. I said sorry for you. I said follow questions supporting actions evidence for the country. Following. It's invalid. In what ways was the control of land central to struggles between Native Americans and European colonists. 1965. What? Why did the American colonies represent a safe haven for religious groups who were willing to move to, to a new place in the 17th and 18th centuries? To a compare, how were the settlers in the colony different from and similar to settlers in the colonies? Fucking right. I hate that. 21. For a support opinion. Why do you think that the person song might have felt threatened by woman property? Use information from the country support your opinion. For district fact and opinion. Was the idea that George could help you debate and the very poor outcome the difficult effect or opinion. Say why you think so. Come on. Should be more. Or that's New Hampshire. We're not doing New Hampshire now. Do tomorrow. Huh? We'll say that comment. We're just gonna do that later on. And that's for the following questions. Support your answers, man. Oh, sure. Take it back. Look, this back. So the orange. So the intended map was actually so they are in the same area, but originally it was gonna be covered somewhere else, but then they changed it. Okay, fine. Look closely the past prickles to the root where they actually sit. They actually question the why what was the previous plan destination between one latitude and wow. Then the prickles go off the pine course and where they did that. What? Why would you? What? That's dumb. You're dumb. What latitudes? It's dumb. What? A lot of sources. Transcripts from of core records from C92 Solomon, which tries to include testimony, include the following transcripts increased Ratchet utilized information about his conversation with President Mary Bridges. Read the passage and answer the question. Goodbye, Bridges, said Jamie, confused against her teens that they were utterly false, that she had bought to her confession by being told she was certainly what was a wish. It, it's so made to believe it that she had no other ground so to believe it. So don't believe. Okay. What does Manfred's statement reveal about the likely cause of many people's confessions? 26. Information. 26 information. Have you had and why people left your homelands to settle the French colony? They think of a present day group of people who have moved to a new place. Write a paragraph that connects the two groups. Tips. Before you start writing, organize your ideas in a two-column chart. On the left, list your two groups. On the right, list the reasons why each group decided to move. Include technical evidence and one or two counter terms of the country. Include the paragraph with observation about the reasons why colonists came to America and why the group and who you selected decided to move on to a new place. And they were done. But we could do this, but we're doing it like later today. I'm not getting any views. No one's giving me 5. 5. Sorry, 5.